ladies and gentlemen. One more episode. 3 years. It's been a long run. Long time coming. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Wednesday Night Preflight, episode 155. As part of the usual, I am Cobble S. Cobble. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another fantastic episode here of Preflight here on the FSCW network. And we saw, at the top of the cast, we saw DJ 4X making his appearance. So I wonder what he has to say. Apparently he's on his way out to the ring right now. But we got a hell of a show for you, 1 week until our 3rd year anniversary. So let's see what Mr. 4X has to say. When my hand goes up, your mouths go shut. I have to get a few things off my chest. So listen up and listen good. I won't be repeating myself. So let me tell you folks, this arena, this beautiful little home of professional wrestling here in Trenton, Michigan, it sucks. It smells horrible. Here, everything gets more expensive. Your car gets stolen if you leave it unattended for 5 minutes. I'm done here. I've done everything I've wanted to accomplish. And I ain't made any new friends doing it. So what do I have to show for any of these victories? This place pays as well as a White Castle on the graveyard shift. Even if you are world champ. Yet, you people pack the stands every night watching this blood sport you call wrestling. Let me tell ya, there's only one thing I like more than dropping the bass. That is dropping your heroes on their asses and taking their titles. Nathan Whiteside, you're the last thing on my list. I know you are sick and tired of all... Really? Real cute, turning my mic off and cutting the feed. Plus, we have the worst text in history. Chum Chum can do a hell of a lot better than the asshats I have. These asshats. As I was saying, all of this as I am. But the difference is you're still wanting to keep this up. You still want to keep up this facade of enjoying this. So why don't we put your happy face to the test? I'm challenging you to a loser leaves town match for the FSCW Championship. Whoever wins gets to keep that worthless FSCW title belt, and the loser gets the real prize. A one-way ticket out of this shit show forever. Strong words there from Mr. 4X. Calling out Nathan Whiteside at next week's 3rd year anniversary. Jesus fucking Christ. Someone's got their pennies up in a fucking bunch. But that's nor here nor there. We'll have to wait and see how Mr. Whiteside responds to that. But on a different note, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We have a fantastically packed show for you. We have our semifinals for our women's tag team championship, and the winners will go on to face one another next week at the 3rd year anniversary of the FSCW, as we are debuting the tag team women's division. But we also have to find out all of the shit that went down last week, like we had Mr. Hackman and Killa running a roughshod through the entire roster, staff, whatever. So I believe Mr. Slaney is going to address that later on. And even more interesting, we've seen the videos of Mr. Jesse Stansfield doing some, shall we say, backdoor deals, but we'll have to get that all eventually. First up will be our semifinals for our women's division. We have Sabrina Danger Styles and Lulu Lena taking on the team of, let me check my notes real quick. Taking on Radiance and Junko. Now, you're thinking to yourself, how in the actual hell are these four working cohesively for their said teams? You're as baffled as I am. Because we know damn well Lulu and Sabrina have found some common ground, and Radiance and Junko are just on the opposite sides of the spectrum, but they had a victory last week, so I'm not sure how that's gonna translate. But one of these teams will get one of the spots in our final next week. They did a fantastic debuting, working together last week, so. And they strangely worked very fluently, Lulu and Sabrina. Junko and Radiance, they just pounded their opponents into oblivion. So, but to be fair, it was, no, it wasn't them. But that's nor here nor there, but we'll have to see if they're going to be able to keep their cohesiveness together. Because on the opposite side, you have the former women's FSCW Women's Champion. No, actually, the Monroe Magic Wrestling Federation Women's Champion. You have Radiance as the former FSCW Women's Champion holder. You have Junko as a former Monroe Magic Wrestling Federation champion, so you have a lot of previous gold holders inside this ring. The only one that hasn't won anything yet is Lulu, but she's relatively new, so she might be able to, if her and Sabrina can still work together, potentially have some gold around her waist. But on the other side, you have Radiance, the Strong Woman Competitions winner from Alaska, and the Empress, Junko Yokota. And Junko just shows how dominant she has been. She wants to try and get some gold around her waist since leaving the MMWF. and coming over to the FSCW. But she is probably one of the best all-around female athletes we have here in the FSCW and Preflight. So it's going to be epic to see how far this goes. And even though we all are very well and know Radiance and Junko can't stand to fuck each other. However, they seem to put that somewhat on the side and have the bigger goal in mind, that tag team gold. So it'll be very interesting to see if they're able to keep this going as well. So thank you for joining us once again, and here we go. Sabrina and Radiance open up. Radiance comes with a left tab hook, goes to the side headlock. Sabrina's going to counter to the front face lock. Sabrina going to hit it there and hit up with a wicked neck breaker. Sabrina's going to roll over Radiance and attempt to put her in the moose knuckle, but instead starts to try and take the arms out. But Radiance is going to say to hell with that and going to fight her way out of it. Sabrina comes back with rights and lefts. She goes to the wrist lock, center of the ring. Sabrina going to pull back headbutt. Nobody wins. Now stomping on the legs. Sabrina's backing up slightly. Radiance is going to jump in front, goes to the wrist lock. So Radiance is going to throw Sabrina in the corner. And Radiance going to put Sabrina up top in the corner. And Radiance are going up there and going to get that super fall away slam from the second rope. And yes, and Sabrina's going to come back with a German suplex in response. But this is elimination, tag team elimination. When you eliminate one of the members, the match is still going on. You have to eliminate both members to win the match. As Sabrina takes that knee and drives it right into the neck of Radiance. Sabrina goes to the side headlock, elbow to the face. Sabrina goes to the wrist lock. Sabrina going to throw Radiance in the corner. Going to shoulder thrust. Radiance gets back up. And immediately goes up there and starts taking the offense right back to Sabrina. But Sabrina's going to turn around and go to the front face lock again. Sabrina going to set up. Going to put a vertical stalling suplex. Sabrina, Radiance to come around, and Radiance is going to get whipped right into their team. And belly to belly release suplex in response after the springboard into the corner. Radiance goes to the waist lock, standing switch. Radiance sends her into the corner once again. Radiance going to bring in the Empress, Junko Yakoda, as she flies in with the vaulting cross body. Sabrina's getting the front face lock. Junko going to hit that spike snap suplex. I thought she was going to go for a spike DDT, but no. But Sabrina's going to counter that German suplex after getting launched across the ring from Junko. Sabrina going to throw Junko into the corner. Going to bring in Lulu to give Sabrina some air time. And we're going to do a drop toe hold, elbow to the spine. This is just an outmatched match right here, Junko versus Lulu. You have the martial arts background of Junko versus the All-American background of Lulu, so it's going to be seeing how this is. Junko goes to the side headlock. Ducks under there with a high-angle neck breaker. Junko going to walk right into a deep arm drag. Lulu going to stomp on her, going to kick, but Junko's going to counter to the front face lock. Junko going to pull back, but Lulu's going to counter with a jawbreaker. Lulu going to go to the wrist lock now. Going to the front face lock. Fireman's carry. Launching Juno. Going to a mat-based wrestling between these two. As Junko goes to the wrist lock. And Junko going to bring that backside suplex. Junko ducks under to the waist lock. And going to take a wrestling takedown. Junko going to tap into her natural the All-American background that apparently she has, or just using that mat wrestling that she knows, or channeling that mat wrestling that Lulu's and using it against her as she hits another suplex. And Yokota was going to go for the Queen's Lock, but nobody home. Junko go to the waist lock. Going to hit that teardrop suplex. Junko going to take a knee right to those thighs. And Junko going to stomp on the legs, trying to work on the legs of Lulu, but Lulu's going to power her way out of it. Come back with a DDT. Lulu going to throw Junko in the corner. Lulu's going to bring in Sabrina, give her some breath, and they're trying to do some quick tags here to get everybody a little energized as Sabrina comes with an elbow to the spine. Sabrina's going to duck outside for a moment. And Radiance and Junko both pop over there as Sabrina's tearing down the announce table. Sabrina goes to the wrist lock. Junko's going to counter it with Radiance kicking her. And Radiance going to launch Sabrina before she can do some damage on the outside there. And Sabrina going to send Radiance crashing to the table below with that shoulder thrust. Now Junko going to come in with that second rope DDT. Junko going to pick up Sabrina and go back, and oh, she steals Sabrina's finisher with the wheelbarrow suplex. Here's the cover. Sabrina's going to kick out, pissed off. Sabrina's going to dump Junko over the top. Going to kick her right down the road because she is not happy getting hit by her own finisher move. And Radiance is going to try and defuse the situation by throwing Sabrina back into the ring. Junko and Sabrina looking to take out Radiance again, but Sabrina's going to duck under there and go after Junko. And now we have some double tag team action on there, double teaming on the outside. As Junko is, I think, trying to go over the springboard, but nobody home because Sabrina dived under the ring. Sabrina going to bring in Lulu after taking her wheelbarrow facebuster, and Junko's going to go over the Queen's Lock. And Lulu's in a bad place. Sabrina's going to come in and break the tag up. Radiance was going to go for the save, or the distraction, but didn't work. And Sabrina broke the count up that turned Lulu into a DDT after he putting on the Queen's Lock. Sabrina with a waist lock on Junko. Sabrina going to teardrop suplex Junko. And Sabrina going to go cross arm leg breaker. And Junko's enough of that shit. And Junko's going to bring in Radiance. As Radiance going to come back under there, and Sabrina's going to respond with a German suplex. Sabrina picks up Radiance and goes for a fisherman's throw. That fisherman toss, good God. That was almost like an exploder with the fisherman hook. As Lulu comes in with a front face lock. Lulu going to pull back, drop toe hold. And Lulu doing some quick tags in here between Sabrina and Lulu, keeping each other fresh and wearing down Radiance. But Radiance going to kick Sabrina right in the face. And going to hit a belly-to-belly suplex of her own. Over the head release. And now Radiance is getting irritated. Apparently just starts bouncing Sabrina's head off the top. Radiance going to bring in Junko to keeping herself fresh. And Junko's taking it outside. Sabrina's going to follow suit. They both want to get that table involved. But oh, it was a fucking ploy. As Junko hits the step up in Saguri off the corner. Just out of sight for Sabrina as she came around. But Sabrina's going to come back after taking that and hit Junko, but now Radiance got back involved, so now Sabrina's back in the ring. Junko's up. Sabrina going after Radiance again. Radiance can just keep setting Sabrina back in the ring. Junko's back in. And Sabrina almost got distracted there, but Junko is going to eat another German suplex. And Sabrina's going to dump Junko over the top and kick her down to the floor below. And Sabrina's going to take it right to Junko. Junko and Sabrina are going to face off. Junko goes to the wrist lock. Sabrina's going to counter to the waist lock. Standing switch. And Sabrina's going to get Junko where she wants. And Sabrina is going to try and go after there. Junko's up on the board. Sabrina, don't know whether, but Radiance is whatever she had in mind. Radiance cut Sabrina down, saving Junko from that splash. Sabrina just teeing off with the right hands now. As Junko comes back with right leg kicks. Kicks to the midsection. Junko front face lock. Junko going to throw Sabrina on top now. Now Junko, she's going to take it up top. Junko is going to make it her own thing. Junko and DDT to the table. Junko was almost on that receiving end of that splash, but Radiance was there to save the day. Now Sabrina took the ate the table. Junko hit the DDT. Radiance is finishing Sabrina off. Junko back in the ring now. Junko going to roll over Sabrina. Going to try and just work on that arm of Sabrina. And just going to keep trying to dislocate that shoulder. And just torquing the shit out of that arm. Trying to be able to, Sabrina cannot use that wheelbarrow face buster, but Junko's going to come out with knee strikes to that face, that Muay Thai style. Sabrina's in bad shape and is going to bring in Lulu. But that's kind of looks like that was the plan. And Sabrina's going to send, Junko's going to send Sabrina flying. Hits a barricade. And something's up. Our fucking techs are being fantastic as usual. Junko goes to the waist lock, standing switch. Junko throws Lulu into the ring. Junko comes back. Shot to the throat, boot to the face. Sabrina gonna throw Junko back in now. And Sabrina gonna get a couple elbows in. And Lulu setting up. And she's gonna hit the slammer. Lulu hits the slammer on Junko. Gonna drag Junko to the center. Here's the cover. 1, 2. What the? Really? Lulu takes out Junko. Sabrina is gonna take out. Radiance is gonna take out Sabrina. And Radiance says enough of this shit. Radiance is the legal one. Gonna go for that top fall away slam. But Lulu is the one that's legal. And she walked right into another slammer. But Serena says enough of that shit. But Sabrina is going to go with the ref. She's distracting the ref. Lulu's trying to go for a cover. 1, 2. What? Lulu played it off. And Lulu is going to advance. With Sabrina with the distraction. She got both the slammers off. Sabrina, Junko. I should say Sabrina and Lulu advance. I did not see that coming. That was unprecedented. But they're going to take it as our cameras are heading to the back once again. Let's see what our cameras are going to detect in the back right now. What the hell was that last week? Well, us losing to a part-time ref and security team. No, you lost the match for us. I did not lose. Newsflash, it was an elimination style match. Yes, I was the first, however, I took the most amount of damage, bitch. And what happened after I got taken out? You stepped in, took a weak-ass punch, and the ref called 1, 2, 3. At least I actually tried, Miss Glassjaw. Maybe you were actually paying, if you were actually paying more attention to the match, instead of worrying about your precious fucking championship belt, maybe we'd be going for the tag team gold instead of bitching like instead you're bitching like a little schoolgirl that didn't get her way or took your toys. I'm about to. You're gonna regret this. And oh, Cade, Radiance, and Dragon going at it. They're gonna fight each other in the back. We saw last week that is true. And oh, last clue: your bet will find you or the way home. What does that mean? As the refs and security teams are coming in to deal with these characters, but Cade and Red Dragon at ends right now. But yes, we did see last week Red Dragon took abuse and could not take any more. And then we saw Cade come in, take one shot, one right hook, and she tapped and she was unconscious. 1, 2, 3. So Red Dragon's got a point. But Cade looks like she's just obsessed that she could not lose. But there, like again, there could be the point where she was more focused on looking for her fucking belt. So, up next will be our final semifinals match of for the Women's Tag Team Championships, featuring the ref, a backup ref, and security team versus who the hell is it? Let me check my notes. Against Katana and the Lost One. Now, we saw last week as Katana makes her way down the ring, we were introduced to the Lost One. A very, very unique individual. She, from the look of it, looks like she was killed, buried, but not dead. But she has every aspect of undead, but not zombie level. But for some reason, they have found some type of ground that these two worked together last time. So it's going to be very interesting to see how Cade and the Lost One continue that. But we know the security and the ref were kind of just here, and they required a few more contestants. But yes, here she is, if you want to call her that, the Lost One. She looks demonic as hell. She's got the gyrations, and she looks just unhuman-like. She seems like she's a monster from out of a movie, or some type of demonic entity. But somehow they picked the right outfits to be together, her and the Lost One. We don't have much information for her. Hopefully we will get some intel in the upcoming weeks. But her first match, she came in and Jesus Christ. There's just no words that can further explain this. We're just going to stick with entity, because it's unhuman. And it should be dead, but it's not. She must have some type of hatred to keep her alive this long. or